So this is the view right outside my front door. And if we step to the left, there is a brick path that I put in years ago from brick that was left over from my brother-in-law's home when they built it. As we start down the sidewalk, I have some hellebores and some heuchera there. Still have some Christmas decorations left up and all our cats. And some more of the wild rose heuchera here. And then this arbor, Mother's Day present last year. Love it. It's so fun to walk through. Cats love it as well. I have some clematis planted on either side. Hopefully those will come back in the spring. And we'll grow and get to enjoy those around here. Here is a small flower bed. It is mostly shaded in the summer. But I got 2 peonies and a bunch of tulips. I think there's like 100 tulips under that. So I look forward to those in the spring. And if I pan around the grandkids' bikes, this is my front yard. My old garden cart that the kids play with. But have a stone bench. And this is a magnolia tree that the grandkids love to climb. It's like their favorite climbing tree because it's easy to get in. And then on my driveway, we planted 25 tulips in between those 2 spireas. Okay, we'll continue on around the house. There's a flame bush. It's outgrowing the space, so I think this will be one of the projects that we take on is removing this and planting some fun stuff in there. I've seen some ideas on Pinterest of a race car track that you build right into the ground for the kids. So I'm thinking something fun in there. And then my husband has a thing for squirrels. He calls all the grandchildren squirrels. And so our daughter got that little squirrel statue for him. And then right here, my grandson and I planted a bunch of tulips on either side of the porch. So let me back up here so you can see my porch. I like to deck this out in the spring with the planters and some of our cats. And then there's more tulips here. And then this spot, I think my grandparents probably planted this pine tree to give the swing shade in from the afternoon sun. So we have this old swing that we've had for many years and the trampoline. Now I planted a blueberry in this just to overwinter so it wouldn't overwinter in the pot. So we'll see how the blueberry bush does. But if it comes back, I'm thinking I want to get 3 more and get 4 matching pots and maybe put these in the garden. So we'll see how the blueberry bush does right here in this spot for the winter. Okay, so moving around, this is a big old catalpa tree that has been here for a long time. And I'll back up so you can see how the swing goes on that branch there, which is so thick. Every spring I always worry that the tree isn't strong enough to hold the swing, but it's always sturdy enough. And then down below, I always love to plant pink impatiens in this spot. And here I've got another bunch of tulips, and a couple of them are not the right color. These are supposed to be a pink mix, and one of them came up orange. So I'm going to try to mark that this year and dig just that one out. So a yucca plant. Here's a cute little flower bed that we were working on last year. We have some hosta in here, and this is another kind of lilac. I'm not sure. That one there is nothing but a weed tree, but my husband wanted me to leave it because it had a nice green background, but that's coming out. Definitely. And then here is a very old lilac that was around from when I was a child. The grandkids and all the children, they like to play inside of it. So that's their little entryway to get in the middle of the lilac bush. So coming around here, I cleaned out this flower bed and laid the rock, but then the weeds got it. We tend to be really busy with 4-H and band and different things. It's hard to have a lot of time for the garden, but I plan on changing that this year. And here's another catalpa, not as big as the other one with the swing, but let me come up real close. This is how my clothesline goes. You see that hook right there? Yeah, see the hook? The hook goes from this tree, let me slowly pan around, all the way to the corner of the house. There is another hook right there. And so the clothesline stretches across my yard. Sorry about the trampoline. We had a bad windstorm the other day and it blew the net off. So yeah, so that's how my clothesline goes. Let me come back around. Okay, we're heading out to my mailbox. Let me show you this part before we go there. So I have a good friend in my garden club. We exchanged some horse manure for some limestone rocks, and so I put them here on the corner. I have lots of pink tulips, double I think are in this one. A couple redbud trees that volunteered themselves, and the original outhouse to the farm. I got some heuchera on either side of the door. And inside is where I store the poles for my clothesline and my clothespin bucket. So I just keep it all in there, and when I hang clothes on the line in the summertime, it's right there and real handy. Alright, so we're going to back up through here, and here's my mailbox. Now, this is one of my projects for this summer. I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but when this pole was first painted, I had my kids' handprints. You can kind of see right there some of their handprints on the pole. Oh, here's a good one. So the pole was painted white and had my children's handprints on it, but over time and weather, this little project needs redone, so I'll probably use my grandchildren's handprints now. And this mailbox has been on there for a long time, so it just needs redone. All the flowers have faded off and stuff. So this is a project, and there's Mom's from last fall. So this little bit is right above the horse pasture, and there's an oak tree. You can tell it holds on to its leaves. Those will come down in the spring. But a nice little area. To the right of the oak tree is where I dump, that's my dump pile for all the weeds and scraps and things. So coming down through here, well, first of all, the telephone company came through and put in new posts, and we said, sure, we'll take some. So they're just kind of there. We use them for different projects, but this is my path. And I really wanted round stepping stones. Went to the different gardening centers, could not find round pavers. So my husband made these. We used a 5-gallon paint bucket, lid for the mold, and we poured our own cement. So the neat thing about this is we have all of our family's names. The cats are photobombing. But here is my granddaughter Nevaeh, and then my grandson Merrick, Levi, Olivia, my daughter Coral, her husband Greg. Now my daughter Brianna just got married, and we didn't make her husbands. When we tried, the cement just crumbled and it didn't turn out right. But we're going to make Sean's, and their children will start a path up to the outhouse. So right, here's my finger, right through here, I want to put another path with Sean and their future children. So that'll take some time. Maybe I'll just mulch the path in for now. But over time, hopefully I'll have enough stepping stones, or we'll figure something out. So after Brianna is my son Jarrett. And then Ainsley made a stepping stone at 4-H camp. Oh, yes, I know you want petted. So we added that in there. And then there's Ainsley. There's mine and my husband's. So just a nice little path. Let me turn it back around here. A nice little path. Just connecting the two areas. Okay, so now we're behind the outhouse from the bottom side, and then panning on around, you can see the house. I guess we'll go talk about this tree. This is a redbud tree, and it's leaning a little bit more than it was last year. We had the swing, but you can see the worn spot in the ground for the grandkids, and see how low the swing is to the ground now. Like, I think this tree is having some problems here. It comes out. And then my husband liked how it made like a secret garden. It was so full of foliage here that it was kind of like a secret garden area. So anyway, there's that redbud. Oh, and there in the tree is my Christmas present. Maybe I'll go up a little bit closer and show that to you later. Okay, so we'll go back around and we'll come down. Here's the horse pasture. So I don't know where my boys are, but that's the horse pasture. The Chinese chestnut, I believe that is. And this is our fire pit. We like to burn our burnable trash, and so that's our fire pit. And our horse trailer. And yeah, we had a bad windstorm. And all of these pool noodle pieces, they are around the, they're supposed to be on the trampoline protecting the springs. So it looks like we have some definite garden cleanup. So anyways, here we're back to the redbud. And if I come up the hill here, this was my Christmas present this year. I got a bird feeder from Collections Inc., etc. Can't remember the name. But I like the look of it. It reminds me of the Edwardian bird feeder in Gardener Supply, but costs much less, and I love the green color. So that was my Christmas present. Okay, let's go take a look at this part of the house. Okay, so this is another one of the big projects we have for this summer. This wood for the retaining wall is probably 40, 50 years old, and it is rotted. So I want to pull this out. That is the old pump for the spring, which we had to fill in because it was caving in and dangerous. But I want to use more of these landscape pavers and build a retaining wall. And then I want to curve it around and make a path here. Probably gravel, I'm thinking, up around to the trampoline. So that's one of the big projects I have for this year, because that wood definitely has to come out. It's rotted. Oh, the rain chain was a new addition last year. I ordered it off of Amazon, so I'm not sure who the supplier is, but just beautiful. Just beautiful. Really enjoy that. And I got a trio of pots that I had planted up with Super Tunia bubblegum. Just love it. Oh, hi Charlie. Okay, so this is the tree house area. I see we got a limb down. Like we had, like I said, that bad windstorm come through here. But yeah, the grandchildren love this spot. So they can climb up that ladder. We have the treehouse up there, see a broken limb. So we have the slide, how they get down. There's another limb. There's a mat at the bottom, so when they land, they can land on the mat. And we come around here. My husband built the stairs with the railing to get into the house. And I'm going to show you underneath here is a very big rock. Let me get it cleared off here. Okay. Can't tell how it really looks, but it's a nice white rock and it's huge, and that is the bottom stepping stone for the stairs. Maybe in a future tour I'll have to get that again when it looks nice. And coming on around underneath the treehouse, a baby swing, because I always have babies, so we have a nice swing for them. And over here is a flower bed. Charlie again. The electric pole that runs electric to our barn. And this boot was a gift from my best friend. It was her mother's, and it meant a lot to her. So I call it my manky old boot, and enjoy having some annuals in there. Up here I have a Stilby. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's kind of buried. There should be 5 is Stilby going around the electric line there coming out. And I hope to get a couple more and just really fill in this whole area with a Stilby. Looks really pretty with the rock around it. Okay, and so there, go up here, have a project waiting. My husband had gone to a flea market and found me some hay racks. He brought home 4 of them. I think I'm going to use that one, that smaller one in the center. I'm going to put that one somewhere else, and then there's a matching big one. And I think those would look really nice attached to the house there underneath the windows and add some color up high. And so these are my my sun porch steps, and that's my basement steps. That's where I bring the laundry in and out when I hang clothes online. All right, so we're just about back around to the house. Put these in 2 years ago, and really enjoy that around the path. Okay, wanted to show you my watering station. At least that's what I call it. My husband, this was my design, and my husband made it happen. But this is an Ely hose reel. I love it. And then my idea was to add hooks for my watering cans. That can belonged to my grandmother. And so the hose reel, have a 130-foot hose on there. I can reach almost all parts of my garden with that hose. But it's really nice to wind it up really easy. And then I had a shorter hose that we would hook onto there. And there's my wand and my different nozzles. But really loving my watering station. Okay, so that is all the way around the house. Now I'm going to take you over to the other part of the yard. Okay, we're on the other side of the driveway, and what we're looking at is some more damage from that windstorm we had. This big old pine tree loses limbs real easy, but we had a lot of limbs come down. There's our goats and the hayfield. That is a Rose of Sharon. And usually on that spot between the post behind the Rose of Sharon and up to that tree, there's a hammock there in the summertime. So we really like that. And here's the swimming pool all buttoned up for the winter, and grasses. That hose here that goes up and across is what I call my husband's hillbilly heater. That there's a bunch of black hose on the roof, of our garage here, and it heats up the warm water, and it comes over and hooks into the bottom of the Zoomerang slide. Let me take a step over here. There you can see where the Hillbilly heater hooks into the slide, and when it comes off the slide, it feels like a warm shower. The grandkids really like it. So this is our pool. Okay, right here I got this sidewalk put in. These pavers I would buy, you know, 2 or 3 at a time, and so it took most of the summer to buy all the pavers for the sidewalk here. So I have big plans for this area. I have some nice planters on either side, but I'd like an arbor here. One that goes straight across to hide the poles that we're walking under for the Hillbilly heater. So I think I want an arbor here. I have it picked out. But the main thing is I don't want an arch. I want it to be flat, straight across the top to hide the pole. Okay, so walking on up the sidewalk. This little area right here, I want to gravel in. It's really an odd spot for the lawnmower. We have to bring the push mower in here. Just a tough spot. So this is a place where I want to redo. So it's another project in the works. And then I don't want to show you my garden right now. I didn't plant anything last year. Just things didn't work out. So I will save the garden for another time. So coming on around, this is my chicken coop. And sad to say, we lost all of our chickens. The neighbors and I, we lost our chickens this year. We think it was a raccoon. Something got in and got them. So we kind of need to, the roof needs redone anyways. So we're going to, again, more projects on the list. Redo this roof and make it more safe and secure for future chickens. You can see we have some bricks. So we have a lot of wind, and it just pulled that right off of there. So we have some bricks holding it down. And so that's one of the projects, get this chicken coop safe and get some more chickens. All right, so here we have my husband's pizza oven. We built this ourselves. It was my husband's idea. And it took him about 6 months to build. He would watch a YouTube video, and then he would, you know, build the base. And he'd watch another YouTube video, and we'd build the foundation. So, and then the dome. So it was a long process, but one we really enjoy. We've made bread, brownies. We've cooked Thanksgiving turkey in there, but that didn't turn out so well. But we really enjoy the pizza oven. And then there's my chiminea. This is actually my second chiminea. Unfortunately, my first one, I ran it over with a lawnmower. I was driving with my grandson and didn't give enough space for the what's the cover called on where the grass comes out. Anyways, it hit the chiminea and we broke it. So I was really glad when my husband found this and brought it home for me. We like to roast marshmallows and make s'mores in the chiminea because it's a nice small contained fire. Easy for the grandchildren to put their stick in and roast their marshmallows. So right here, talking about grandchildren, is a 360-degree teeter-totter. They have so much fun on this because it'll spin and go up and down. So they really enjoy that. And then this monstrosity doesn't look too good right now, but this is a sandbox. And we've had it for about 3 years now. And the kids love it. They play in it all summer. And we try to keep the cover on it to keep the cats out of it. But yeah, they enjoy the sandbox. And this part of the tree, we have an air chair that hangs there where the branches cross and the chain is to protect the tree. We have an air chair hanging there. So you have the air chair And then right there between the tree and the post, we have the hammock. So it's a nice spot to enjoy. And then there's our hayfield and our view. Okay, so here's the old grapevine. This is another future project. My husband wants to extend the grapevine out over his pizza oven and take his chimney and make it taller. So we have more of a pergola effect in this area. So, and also we had a oak tree fall down several years ago, and my husband made these rustic benches out of the oak tree, and he made that oak table as well. All right, so over here is a little redbud tree we transplanted. And then I dug up the area underneath and had some coleus and some other flowers under there. So we enjoy that. I like the weeping effect of it. And then I have another bird feeder on this side of the yard. As a gift from my daughter Brianna. And I like the metal ones better than wood. I've had several wood bird feeders, and they just, with the weather, they just fall apart. So a little ashamed of this spot around my garden. I had marigolds in here, and then I just didn't have time to maintain it. So I'm a little ashamed for you to see that, but it is what it is. And then when I take care of it this spring and you can see the difference, you'll understand. Now this spot right here, I have lavender outside my garden fence, and I want to put in another watering station right here on the corner. We can somehow attach, I think there's room right there, just to attach something to hold a hose and have another hose here, because my 130-foot hose, I can reach around, this is where we store our camper, come around the camper garage, and it ends right here. It doesn't make it up to there. I have to fill a watering can and go water the redbud this way. So I think it'd be really nice if I could have another hose here and then attach the hoses together so I can reach, then I'll be able to have more flower beds on this side of the yard. So anyways, we'll save the garden for later, and we come on around. This is a pear tree. We've been getting pears and canning pears in the fall. So really enjoy that. And then we're back around to the front of the house again. All right, so anyways, thank you so much for joining me on a tour. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.